So today, guys, I have thrown caution to the wind. Even though I've only got 3 parking spaces outside, I've gone bid crazy. So this is Monday morning and we have a load of bids out there today. Copart, we have 5 bids. Manheim, which is my new account, I've got 6 bids on Manheim today. So what are we up to? We're 11 bids, and then on BCA I have another 4 bids there. So we've got 15 bids out there today on cars. Although I've only got space for 3 outside, so it'll be interesting to see how today goes. So yeah, by the end of the day we'll see what happens with those bids. So we'll go through them quickly and see what I've bid on. So first up, we've got a Hyundai Classic. This is on BCA. So it's a little 1.2 Hyundai Classic in red. That's at Bridgewater today. That one, it's got 49,000 miles on it. It's a 2009. It's got an MOT till March, which ideally would be longer, so we'll need to put an MOT on it. It's got some service history on it. These are the things to be looking for on your BCA. Come down here, make sure you haven't got a total loss category write-off. See how long the MOT is, some of the last services. So that one, like I say, is going through 2009. Let's have a look at the guide pricing on that one. So they are saying that its retails 2375, clean is 1375, average 1125, and below average 860. I think that's a 2495 car, to be honest, on the forecourt at the moment, current way things are going. We can check the condition report, but being this age, it's got a grade 3. They don't give you any detail on this age, but grade 3 is pretty good. It's normally only light scratches here and there, but it hasn't got a mechanical report, so we are rolling the dice on that one a little bit, as to whether it is whether it's mechanically good. I've bid £1,300 on that. So with fees, that'll take up to about £1,500, and delivery about £1,600. So around about £1,000 margin between sale price and what I've bid on it. Next one up is a little Suzuki Alto. I won't go into quite so much detail with these going forwards, but just again put a few pointers out for you guys that are looking to do this on BCA. So I've got an Alto 1 litre SZ3. I mean, obviously everything I'm buying is small cars, that's why I specialise in is small cars. So that's a 2009 with 80,000 miles on it. It's got a MOT till the 2nd of the 4th 2021, so again not a long MOT. You need to do some work on that, but it has got some service history on it. Condition report, again no mechanical report, so again we're rolling the dice on whether it's got any mechanical problems or not. Grade 4 means it's probably got a dent or 2 in the bodywork. So we're going to need to probably do a little bit of body work on that when it comes in. I've put a bid of £700 in for that. Go back to the guide pricing, and it reckons that retail is 1950, so it's a 1995 car. They reckon clean 950, average 720, below average 500. So again, I'll be all in for about £1,000 with delivery and fees. Put £1,000 on the bonnet, hopefully not too much work to do. Next one up, a Suzuki Splash. That was Suzuki Splash. And on that, again, we'll have a quick look at the condition report. Again, no mechanical report, so we're rolling the dice yet again. Grade 3, which means bodywork wise it should be good. So if it's anything, it's going to be mechanical. Down here though, we've got quite a long MOT on this, 8th of the 8th 2021. That one is an automatic, so small little autos are quite useful little cars. I always get a lot of people calling for small little autos. I have to say though, I don't know how reliable these auto boxes are on these. Let's have a look at what the guide price is for that. The guide price is retail 3125. So again, probably a 3295. Clean 2125. Average 1825. Below average 1500. I'll put a bit of £1,400 on that. So again, with fees, let's say £200 odd. Delivery will be into about £1,700–1,800. So again, we've got about £1,000 on the bonnet. Last one up, we've bid on a Toyota Yaris. They're well thought of little cars, Toyota Yarises. It's a 2010, nice little gunmetal grey. That one has got 69,000 miles on it. And it's got MOT until focus the 11th of the 8th, 2021. So that's my BCA bids. So we'll see later on in the day if I win any of those. Let's have a quick look at what I've done on Copart. Don't really want to do any crash repairs at the moment. I haven't really got a lot of time, but I have put a few cheeky bids in. So first up, we've got a Citroen C1 V Charger, just because they sell so blooming well with me. Citroen C1 VTRs fly out the door. Have a quick look at that. So this side of the car's clean. This side of the car's had the whack. If we look there, we've got a dented wing and a dented bumper. Now the bumper, I'm pretty sure that will come out with a bit of heat. Excuse my fingers full of crud. The bumper will come out and we can repair that. The headlight, I would imagine that's going to have broken tabs for sure. Hopefully they're still in there and can be bonded back on again. We've got no damage to the bonnet, so the edge of the bonnet is good. So it is just going to be that wing. Hopefully we get colour match wing for it. So I'm thinking probably headlight and wing. Won't have to replace the bumper, but headlight and wing combined. Let's say I'm all in for a couple £100 max, I would have thought on that. Have a look at the details of it a bit. So I reckon repair is going to be a couple £100. It runs and drives. It's got 75,000 miles on it. They say the retail for it is 2275. I mean, that would be 2495 all day long if that was on my forecourt as a non-cat car. As a cat car, I'd probably sell it for £2,000. Be good to 1995 it. So I've put in a bid of 525 for it. Current bid's 500, so I don't think I'm winning that one. If you watch the auction and keep bidding, I guarantee you'll overpay. You've got to just give your best bid and leave it. I guarantee you, that's my top tip for Copart. You've got to put your best bid in and leave it, because otherwise you will carry on bidding. Next one up, Kia Picanto 2010. Kia Picanto 1, Kia Picanto's good sellers for us again. Now this one, if I remember, it's only got very light damage. So if I keep scrolling through, I think the damage was limited to, rear wheel arch just here. Just there, dinging that rear wheel arch. So this is one that you could, if you're starting out on Copart, this is the kind of thing you might want to buy if you don't have a lot of facilities or tools. That actually could be sold as is. You could get away with selling that as it is. You really could. But for me, I'll probably obviously rattle can paint that corner again. 90,000 miles on 2010. It says the retail's £1,300. I think they're a bit light there. If that was retail outside, it would probably be £1,795, something like that. Maybe £1,495. I've put a bid of 325 on that. It's at £200, so we'll have to see what happens with that one. Again, I don't know what mechanical work it might need. I haven't checked the MOTs on it. I should do. Good practice is to go and check how long the MOT they've got on them as well. I've been outbid on these two Fiestas. I'm not going to go in and bid any higher on those. Fiestas are going for silly money at the moment. So the last one that I'm still live on is another C1. I actually thought I wasn't bidding any higher on this one. It looked like too much work, but there you go, I have done, because it looks like this one, you've got to assume you're going to have to put an alloy on that there. You definitely need a full light. You aren't going to be repair the tabs. You're going to need a wing, and that bumper needs more work. I mean, if it's fixable again. So that one's much more work than the red one we looked at. It's a 2011 though, and it's a nicer spec. Let's have a quick look. So it's only got 59,000 miles on, so this will be a quicker sale. 59,000 miles on it, 2011, runs and drives. I reckon retail is 2619. 2011, that colour, that miles, even as a cat car, I think you're going to get £2,500 for it. I really do. I've put a bid of 675 in at my max. So with fees, they've got a nice little calculator here now. You can calculate what your fees are going to be. So if we enter the sale price and say I hit my full 675, it will calculate for me how much it's likely to cost. So the total out the door is going to be 945. They've got a lot of cheeky fees now. You buy a fee of 150, which, you know, everybody has buy fees, but then you've got your internet bid fee, £39, where you can only bid online at the moment anyway, so that seems cheeky. Now you've got this new one, a lot retrieval fee of £40. Well, you're not allowed to go in and pick up the car yourself anyway, so that is cheeky. And you have got some VAT in there, £45 on top. So that's what we've got going on in Copart. And then have a quick look at the new account, the Manheim account. I've put probably the most bids in. We've got another Citroen VTR in there, a white Citroen VTR. Again, these sites are really good. If I just do a quick drop down on this, it gives me some information on the car there, but they have got very detailed reports. I'll just show you one of them. If we go in on that, it's very close, that's a bit new to me. But if we go in on the car here, you've got a lot of information with the Manheim. And one thing I like about it is you can put uneven bids in. I've put a bid of 1660, and the rest of them you have to round up by £50 or £25. You can put an extra tenner on these cars on Manheim, which allows you to put in some random bids, which is more like to give you a win. It's 82,000 miles on a 2011 little white VTR. They go really, really well. And if I scroll down here, it gives you what it thinks the average price should be for the car as per the others. But you get an inspection report on it, and it is a very, very detailed inspection report. So here we go. We've got Manheim inspection report. It tells me what the depth tread of the tyres are, what equipment it's got, how long the MOT is. That one's got an MOT right through to Feb next year, that one. So should be a wash and stick out the door. It's a grade 3, which means condition is pretty good. So this would be what I'd probably class as a wash and stick out the door job. And then down here, you've got a full damage assessment, which is good for a 10-year-old car. They don't normally give this much information, so you've got really detailed information on damage. All of these I think are acceptable damage for a used car. Nothing here that worries me at all. So yeah, Manheim, so that's my first experience with them. I don't know what the fees are. Didn't really do too much research on that. I just assumed they're pretty much the same as everybody else's, so I might get burnt on that. We'll have a look later on. But what else have I got in there? I've got a Fiat 500 Lounge. I've got a Suzuki Swift, a Ford KA, a Kia Picanto, another Kia Picanto, and another KA. All are about grade 3 or above. And as you can see, all my bids on this one are much more random numbers. So what's that? So I bid 2,080 on that one. So the Ford 2012 Ford KA I've bid. What have I bid on that one? 1,610. The Kia Picanto on a 2011 I've bid £1,850. Ford KA 910 on a 2009. Suzuki Swift, I'll put 1,060 on that on a 2010. Fiat 500 Lounge. I think the Suzuki, let me just double check, might need a clutch. I've got a fairly low bid on that because it needed a clutch. Did I get the information below? View report. Let's have a quick look at the report. Did it say something about a clutch on this one? So we're going into the end. Sorry, I didn't show on the other car that you've got a full mechanical report as well from Manheim. So here we go. Coolant level below minimum. Clutch bite point is high. Gear change is loose. So on that one, I've factored a price in where I might need to put a clutch into it. So yeah, great reports on Manheim. Really detailed. That one is probably the one I'm most likely to win because everybody wants the cars that don't have any damage, don't need any work, that kind of thing. So that one's most likely a win for me because I tend to win the cars that need a bit of work because I'm looking to make a higher margin, sell a bit cheaper than everybody else around me, but still make a decent margin. So that's today's auctions going on. I thought you might be interested in seeing this side of the business. This is quite time consuming. If you could do this properly, it's really time consuming. If you want to do things like look at previous MOT history on a car before you bid on it, and you can do that on each vehicle and then check what they're selling for on Auto Trade at the moment in your local area. I mean, that's your safest course of action if you want to be safe is you go and check the previous MOT history of the vehicle. You only buy one with a long MOT on it already. You buy one with a full mechanical report. You check what they're selling for in your local area on Auto Trader before you put your bids in. And realistically, that's what you should do on every single vehicle. Obviously, I've been in the game a little while now. I've got the facilities to fix stuff if they're bad, and I'm doing lots of vehicles, so I can afford to have a loss here and there. If you're doing one or two vehicles, starting out, you want to do your research on it. So check what cars are selling for in your local area. Don't go by their book prices. Check what they're selling for in your local area. Again, try and fall within a price category where if a car is going to be 3,295, 3,195 normally, you want to do 2,995, so you fall into a different search category of people. You're going to look that bit cheaper, so again, your bid needs to reflect that. Best thing is go and check what they're selling for within 100 miles of you on Auto Trader. Check what the cars are selling for. And like I say, check the previous MOT history to see how good a car it's been overall. Make sure you read in detail these reports, because you do get the mechanical reports as well as the bodywork reports. So if you don't want to do any paintwork, you want to be picking something that's a grade 3 or above, whether you're either on Manheim or on BCA, you want to do that. On Copart, it's much more of a crapshoot. You can see on Copart, does this have any other mechanical issues? Does it have any other bodywork issues? You need to get cars cheap on Copart because you just don't have the level of information you do on the other sites. So right, I'm going to go and get some work done. I'm going to go back to that Dacia, flat the paint, and then we'll come back at the end of the day and see whether we won anything or not. So at the end of the day, I've been fiddling around with the paint on the Dacia and getting it back together again. Let's see how we got on with the bids that I placed earlier today. So BCA first up, didn't win the Splash. I put in a £1,400 bid. It went for £1,900. So remember, I was basing it on making about £1,000, having £1,000 left in the car after fees and delivery. So this person's bid £500 more than me. So roughly the margin is £500 there. So not a lot to be doing in that car. I bid £1,300 on the Hyundai i10. I got outbid £1,450 that went for. So that's not a million miles out. Little Yaris I bid £1,700 on. That went for £2,250. So again, someone's got about £500 to play with in that. VTR I bid £1,900. Went for £205. That's an annoying one. I probably could have gone that bit higher on that, and that's a good bit of stock that. That's fair enough price. Mitsubishi Colt I bid £1,700. It went for £1,800. That's annoying as well. So could have got that. Little KA, again lost by £100. I bid £600. Went for £1,700. I probably would have bid that on it had I been live on the auction. And this Ford Studio little KA went for £1,100. Sorry, I bid £1,100. It went for £1,200. So my bids on these cars seems to be pretty close to what they're going for. Again, unless you sit live on the auction, you will lose a lot of these. You can win them for an extra 25 quid on BCA, but you've got to sit and watch the auction live. I just don't have the time to do that. So, especially with the amount of cars I'm bidding on. So, no wins at all on BCA today. Quick look at Manheim. My first time bidding on Manheim today, wasn't it? Okay. Didn't win the Citroen C1. Didn't win the Suzuki Swift. Doesn't seem to give you what they actually went for. Didn't win the Ford KA, didn't win the Picanto, didn't win the Ford KA, and didn't win the Ford Fit 500. So I didn't win any of those cars. Got no idea how much I lost by again. I probably would have to stay live and watch those auctions. So the final place we put some bids on is Copart. Oh, we have had a win on Copart. Lots won. Obviously missed out on two VTRs I bid on, but I have won the little KA. Sorry, okay, what am I talking about? Little Kia Picanto I won. Little black Kia Picanto. Let's have a quick look at that lot again. This is the one I remember had a little bit of damage on the rear, and I said I'll probably try and flip this. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing if I can just flip it without doing anything other than washing it. Because I think that's where we probably are with this car. I had a little bit of damage on the rear bumper and the rear quarter there. But it had a long MOT, this one, didn't it? Now, I had a max bid of 325. My final bid, I actually won it for 275. But my current due is 458. This is where you be careful with Copart. Flipping 458. I won a car for £275. But by the time they've added their fees and blah blah blah, 458 plus £100 to get it to me. So I'm going to be in this for just under £600, I think. Now I reckon maybe give it a wash and 995 it. What do you reckon? As is, or do I spend a bit of time on it? I guess we'll have to see when it turns up. Let me know what you'd be interested in seeing. But I hope that's been useful. You've seen the auction process there. As you can see, you have to bid on a lot of cars to be able to win any. If you were looking to only have like one or two cars to do, you'd need to sit on the actual auction and wait for them all to go through, because otherwise you'd have to leave a ton of proxy bids and hope you only won one or two of them. Obviously today I could have won 13 odd cars, and that would have left me in a bit of a situation with space and financially probably. But this little Kia Picanto looks alright. I mean, it's got a half leather interior by the looks of it, so it looks like it's a nice spec, and interior looks mint. But obviously, as always, I'll let you guys know when it turns up. We'll have a look around it, walk around it. We'll have a little drive of it and see what the score is. It doesn't obviously merit spending a lot of time on this car, does it? 2010, 90,000 miles. I think we give it a really good clean. We see if we can just, at most, do a little bit of rattle can on the corner there tidy it up. I mean, oh, I've just spotted that there. Look, the rear wheel arch, rear trim. Actually, I'll tell you why they do this on the high-end nice. Sorry, the Kias. I was just looking at it, I could see the trim was bent in and worried the wheel was bent. I don't think it is, but the trims on these, they're bolted onto the actual wheel. So if they have a little bump, it twists the wheel trim. Normally when you undo the wheel bolts, the wheel trim comes straight again. Although we could, as always, be risking it, and it could be suspension damage. You just don't know, do you? That's the game we're in. We roll the dice and we see what happens. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting to see how I go through the auction process. Like I said, if you're only going to get your first car to buy, Copart's the easiest to join. Next up would be BCA and then Manheim in terms of how easy they are to join. You can see prices are strong. There's no real bargains out there. Again, because these cars weren't particularly, I haven't gone for any with any real bodywork damage. It's a bun fight for those cars. People will, I can't afford to sit on them for 3 months. So, you know, again, the prices I put that I was going to stick them out the door at are probably £250 to £500 cheaper than what anybody else would put them out the door for. So there are local dealers around me that obviously they'll sit on a car, quite happily sit on a car for 6 months and ask a lot more money for it, but I can't afford to do that. I've got to get them in and out quick because of my limited space. So yeah, if you're looking for your first car, probably Copart's the easiest to go on, but obviously you need to avoid it with any major mechanical or bodywork damage unless you've got real skills and real tools. So something off BCA maybe would be the way to go. Again, if you're doing this off your driveway and you're going to do about 7 cars in a year, you can afford to make 500 quid off them if they're a wash and stick them out a door job. But if you want to do that, you must make sure you check the previous MOT history. Make sure you buy one with a current MOT on it, a long current MOT on it, and one of the ones that's got the mechanical and bodywork report on it, so you know exactly what you're buying. Because if you buy one without a mechanical report and you're looking to wash and stick it out a door, you could end up in a world of hurt. Thanks for watching as always. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to the magic 1,000. I really do appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate all the comments. I do read them. I do answer them. If you can just do me a favour and hit that subscribe button, it will make a world of difference to me. Thanks again. Bye.